Hey everyone, I'm Chase at Rocky Mountain ATVMC, and this is our 2019 Premium Off-Road Boot Buyer's Guide. So if you are shopping for a premium boot, well, you have come to the right place. We all know that boots, they are a big investment, but it can be very difficult to choose which boot you think is going to be best suited for you. And man, it is tough, because all the boots that we're going to talk about today, they're all so good. But me just telling you that, that's not going to make it any easier for you. So we're going to help break it down. We're going to give you some good information to help you know which boot you think might be best suited for you. So in this video today, we've got our top 5 premium motocross boots. And as always, I'm going to go through, I'm going to talk about some of the key features and the highlights that each one of these has. But we've also done a little bit more homework for you. So myself, along with multiple other riders here at Rocky Mountain, we have all tried all these boots on back to back. We've actually ranked them in order from the stiffest all the way down to the boot with the most flex right out of the box, as well as comfort, just to help give you a little bit more feedback, some more information about sizing, about fitment, to help make that decision just a little bit easier. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, so the first boot in our lineup is one that I have worn personally that I'm a big fan of, and it is the SG12 coming from Gaerne. So Gaerne is an Italian company known for making very high quality boots with very good durability, and that's what you're getting here with the SG12. Now remember, like I mentioned earlier, we have ranked these boots in order of stiffness. So yes, the SG12 right out of the box for us was the stiffest boot, but what you need to know about these, and I can tell you from my own experience, is that they take time to break in. So be patient with these. They're gonna feel stiff, but the more you ride in them, the more flex, the more feel you're gonna have. So it just takes a little bit of time. But what I like also though is that with the toe box, it's a bit wider toe box. So for riders with wider feet, these will accommodate you better. Also the sole. If you look at the sole, it's that traditional stitched on sole, lasts a very long time, it is replaceable. It's a dual compound, but just know that with the SG12, the sole is very stiff. That goes along with the boot. So you're not gonna have as much feel on the foot pegs with these, in my opinion, as you're gonna get with some of the other boots in the lineup. But like I said, they're going to last a very long time. A couple other features I like about these, the buckle design, some of my favorite, even when they're muddy, gunked up with dirt, they still operate extremely well. You have a glide hinge system on the lateral and medial side, so rather than just pivoting, they glide, and that works in conjunction with the razorback system that is unique that Gaerne uses to help this whole boot just work together. And the last feature that I do like about these is that around the ankle area, you have memory foam padding. So right when you slip the boot on, very comfortable. Just remember, it takes a little bit of time to break in. But this is the SG12 from Gaerne. All right, so second boot in the lineup, we've got the all-new Tech 10 coming from Alpinestars. Now, if you are familiar with motocross boots, chances are you know much about the Tech 10 because for years, it's been one of the most popular flagship boots. Now, in 2018, Alpinestars, they went back to the drawing board. They completely redesigned this, so forget what you know about the old model because a lot has changed. Now, with the fit of the new Tech 10, a little bit wider toe box, so it accommodates wide feet well. Very comfortable right out of the box. Now, just like with the SG12, it's gonna have a little bit more flex than the SG12, but you gotta keep in mind, like we talked about earlier, it takes a little bit of time for these to break in. So if it feels stiff right out of the box, it's okay. Just give it some time, it will get some more flex down the road. But with the new model, a lot of changes. You now have a dual pivot system, so lateral and medial side have a pivot. That's gonna help with the flexibility, but Alpinestars put a lot of emphasis on support and protection for the rider's ankles and for the rider's feet. So a couple of the features I really like. You still have the flex blade system in the front and the rear. We saw that with the previous model. That's gonna help with hyperflexion and hyperextension. But now what they have added, you'll see in the front here, it's called this frontal flex control system. So what it essentially does is just connects this lower buckle to the upper flex blade, and that will actually give dampening support. So in hyperflexion, when the knee's bending forward, it will help absorb that energy and disperse it through the boot rather to the rider's leg and to the rider's ankle. And you will actually feel that. When you put this on and you bend forward, you will feel this actually come into play and help absorb that energy. So I'm a big fan of that. The other feature I really like is in the heel. So a lot of riders have injuries when it comes to heels from big impacts. Say they jump off the bike, you hit the eject button in the middle of the air. So what Alpinestars has now done is that in the heel cup area, underneath the actual foot bed, they have an insert that is a polyfoam crushable material. So let's say you go off a jump, you hit the eject button, you land feet first. Well, that crushable material is going to help absorb that energy and help reduce the chances of an injury to the rider's heel as well as the ankle. And that insert is replaceable. So if you were to crush, you can send these back in and they will replace it for you. The last feature I want to talk about with these that I like, Like I mentioned, this is the only boot in the lineup that comes with an inner bootie. Keep in mind you do need to wear the bootie to put on the boot. These are going to be way too loose if you tried to ride without this, but this is a big safety feature. You can see on the bootie that you have these torsional bars on the medial and lateral side. That is going to give very good lateral rigidity. So you're getting that good support from the bootie, but you're also combining that with the support you already get from the boot itself. And overall, rock solid boot. I love the updates that they made to this. This is the Tech 10 from Alpinestars. All right, so third up on the list, we've got the Crossfire 3 SRS coming from Sidi. Now, SRS stands for Sole Replacement System. I'll explain that more here in just a bit. But first, fitment with the Crossfire 3. It's going to be a little bit more of a narrow toe box when you compare this to the Tech 10 or the SG12, so just keep that in mind. But what I like about this is that right out of the box, you are going to have quite a bit more flexion compared to the Tech 10 and the SG12. So if you like a boot right out of the box that's going to have a little bit more flex, not as much break-in time, then I think this would be a really good option. Now, first glance, you'll notice very unique looking boot. Okay, and what Sidi has done here, you can see lots of hard plastic parts, so great protection, but you're going to notice all these screws that you have on the outside. And the reason for that is pretty much everything on this is going to be replaceable. So any parts that wear out, you can just take them off and replace it. That's what all the screws are for. So that goes for the shin plate, the calf plate, the protectors around the ankle, this little piece, this insert here on the inside of the foot that connects or contacts the bike. That's replaceable. And that leads me to the SRS sole. So it stands for Sole Replacement System. There's a lot of riders out there that don't like the idea of sending off their boot to either the boot company or to a shoe cobbler to have their sole replaced. So Sidi just says, you know what, do it from your own home. And the way they do that, you've got this middle insert on the sole. You can see the screws that hold it on. So if you do wear through this, you can just unscrew it, you buy a new one, you screw it back on, and you are good to go. Now, a couple things about the sole that I want to point out is that I love the sole replacement system, but something you need to know is that this sole is very stiff. It doesn't have as much feel on the foot peg as some of the other boots in the lineup. So just keep that in mind. If you're a rider that likes to have a lot of feel on the foot peg and know exactly what's going on underneath your feet, this is going to be a little bit stiff or a little bit more rigid, so just keep that in mind. But you're going to notice here with the ankle that you have a pivoting system on the lateral and medial side. It's actually more of a glide system, and what I like is that you do have these hyperextension stops that are built in, so it's going to give good protection for the ankle. But overall, rock solid boot from Sidi. I'm a big fan. Again, everything on here is replaceable, so it's going to give you great longevity. Just remember, a little bit more of a narrow toe box, but overall, very unique boot from Sidi. All right, boot number 4, we have got the Tech 7 from Alpinestars. This is the baby brother to the Tech 10. Now with the Tech 7, something that for me really stands out, that in my opinion, bang for your buck, this is one of the best values in a premium motocross boot. You're gonna be about $200 less than the other boots that are in the lineup today. But with fitment with these, couple things we like. A little bit wider toe box, so great for riders that have wider feet. And myself included, and all the other riders that put this on, the first thing we said when we put this on was, wow, this is a comfortable boot. So very little break-in time, extremely comfortable. I feel like I could put this on, I could walk around in it all day, my feet are not going to hurt. So very comfortable, but there is one thing that we feel you sacrifice a little bit with the Tech 7, and that's the heel float. So compared to the other boots in the lineup that we talked about today, it doesn't hold the ankle and the heel as secure. So when you do walk around, you do get a little bit more heel float than the other boots. But for us, it's not gonna be a deal breaker, but just something to keep in mind. But looking at it here, a lot of DNA from the Tech 10 that they put into the Tech 7. Same buckle design. You're just going to get 4 buckles instead of 3, but I already told you I love the buckles that they use on these. And also, again, at this price point, about $350, you're going to get a pivoting ankle on the lateral and medial side. And don't let the price tag fool you. There are a lot of top-level riders that still wear the Tech 7 instead of the Tech 10. So if you're looking for a boot that is super comfortable right out of the box, very little break-in time that's going to give good support, good protection, Tech 7 is an awesome route to take. All right, 5th and final boot we have in the lineup. This is the Instinct coming from Fox Racing. Now, cool fact about the Instinct is as Fox was designing these, they actually had Ricky Carmichael as one of their test riders. So when you got Ricky Carmichael, the GOAT, helping you make a boot, you're gonna have a good final product. Now, a couple things on fitment with the Instinct you wanna keep in mind. Fits a little bit narrow in the toe box, and as far as the sizing goes, runs just a little bit small. So if you are right between sizes, we would actually recommend going up one size. But what you need to know about these is that right out of the box for all of us, these have the most flex, so 0 to little break-in time. So if that's something that you're looking for, this would be a really good option. I've actually spent a lot of time in the Instinct, and for me personally, the boot feels almost the exact same as it does the first day I put it on and then 6 months later. So the way it feels right out of the box is how it's going to feel further down the road. A couple other things I like. The sole. This boot, in my opinion, gives the most foot peg feel of all the boots that we've shown you today. So if you like to have a lot of feel on your foot pegs, know exactly what's going on underneath your feet, no boot, in my opinion, does it better than the Instinct. I love the buckle design, very easy to operate. You've got your dynamic core stabilized system in the rear, so that's gonna allow to have that good flex right out of the box, but you can see you have this hyperextension lockout point that I like down here at the bottom as well, and you are gonna have a pivot system on the medial and the lateral side as well. But overall, if you're looking for a boot that is super comfortable, right out of the box, good flexibility, and it's going to have really good feel on the foot pegs, then the Instinct is the way to go. All right, everyone, so there it is. That is our 2019 Premium Boot Buyer's Guide. Now, if you have any other questions or any other feedback that you would like, leave your comments below and we will help get those answered. If you have one of the boots that we talked about today, leave your comments below. Let us know what boot you have, what you like about it, also what you don't like about it. That's going to help other riders out there looking to pick up their next set. Don't forget that we have product spotlights on each one of these, so if you find one that you like, watch that product spotlight where I break it down into full detail. If you like this buyer's guide, well, do not hesitate, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way you stay up to date on the latest gear guides, product reviews, and how-to videos that we are constantly filming. I am Chase. We'll see you on the trails.